Okay, like I said, I am going to be doing this voiceover, um, trying to attempt for the first time doing butterfly locks. As you can see, I'm kind of struggling pulling this hair apart because I actually don't have that much experience working with this hair. It's free twist water wave hair. And again, it is my first time trying to do butterfly locks. I finally realized that maybe, and along the way, I figured an easier way to separate the hair, more gentle, stretching it like I'm doing now, stretching it out, and trying to find a way to go ahead and pull the hair apart. So I used 2 strands of hair, of the water wave hair, and separated them all together. But I didn't start really doing the 2 strands until I got to like the second row. Because again, I'm trying to do this on my knees. Here you see me crocheting it through underneath the braid. Taking the hair, looping it around my finger, looping it onto the crochet needle, closing it, and pulling the hair through. I found an easier way to do that by just keeping that needle in and just kind of pulling it. But because I'm pulling it, it seems like it's easy to kind of get tangled or confused or pull extra hair. So now I am taking the braid in the right side of the hair and holding that in one hand and using the other hand to twist around the base of the braid and the right side of the hair that I was holding. Up. I'm getting up now. Excuse the mess in the background. Again, wrapping the hair several times around the base, maybe 3 or 4 times. Mind you, this is not a tutorial on how to do butterfly locks. This is my experience on trying to do it my first experience doing it. So this is not me trying to tell you how to do it because I am trying to figure this out myself. So anyway, it's hard to see here. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm still just wrapping the hair around, and I was trying to so I was continuing to wrap the hair around, but with the butterfly locks, it seems like you have to you have to kind of pull some of the hair out to give that butterfly or distressed look. And these first few ones, I was having a lot of trouble trying to figure that concept out. Also trying to figure out how I was going to bring it back up. It seemed as though, like, when I did the first few, I was just happy that it had somewhat of a butterfly look. But my niece thought that it was a little too short, so she wanted to go a little bit longer as we get further up her hair. She'd like for me to do it a little longer, so that concept of extending that hair was something I had to figure out. So, I guess I'll just let you guys go ahead and just watch me stumble upon creating this style. But hopefully, by the end of this style, I will have it figured out and have gather my niche, you know. So I'll go ahead and stop talking and let you watch what I'm doing. All right, so I know I said I was going to let you all watch what I was doing here, but I wanted to explain real quick that I did go through her entire hair, and I put large, medium to large size part squares in her hair. I didn't count it, so I don't know exactly how many I did. And there was a few of them that I redid on her hair. Now you can see that we've gotten a little bit further. Kind of sped the camera up there, and it looks like there's somewhat of some butterfly locks that are forming. Not saying that they're obviously far from amazing, but they are here. I've got something there because I've never tried it before. Let's see how I pull that through. Watch that. That was the easy way I was telling you how I kind of pull it through like that. It doesn't, from my understanding, she said that didn't bother her when I pulled it. I hold on to one end and just pulled it. And here you can see that I'm actually wrapping this hair around the base. And I'll see if I can get a close-up somewhere in this video to show a better view. Looks like my arm and hand is in the way. A better view of what I'm doing. Yeah. So it looks like I'm wrapping it actually to the right. And holding on to that base, which would be the braid in the original right side of the hair that was pulled through. Holding that down. I finally figured out how to wrap the hair around my thumb, wrap the hair in front of the thumb in order to get that butterfly look. I think I'll do it again. I'm gonna keep wrapping, going down a little bit more. Here it looks like I'm gonna do it. Maybe. Let's see what I'm gonna do here. Yeah. No, keep wrapping it, but you'll see how I'm gonna wrap it. The hair around the thumb like that, go forward, and then, well, in some cases I go twice around in front of that thumb. Because if you try to wrap the hair over your thumb, then it's not going to give that pulled out butterfly look. I was really struggling with that. So I'm going all the way down as far as I can go here, kind of measuring it against everything else. And then, so even though I'm wrapping to the right, when I get ready to go back up, I take the hair and take it and loop it and wrap it to the left. But right now, it looks like I'm still wrapping to the right. Wrapping it to the right. Measuring it to see how long I want it to be. Okay. Alright, still wrapping the hair as much as I can. Alright. Now I think I'm flipping it and going to the left now. Or, let's see, what would I say? Looping the hair at the end and taking that loop and wrapping it back up as far as I can. I think after a few more times with this, I will be able to get it. I realized that separating the hair and crocheting in several pieces at once it was easier for me to put a lot of hair in. In other words, for each braid, I was starting to separate the hair like I'm doing now and crocheting in several different braids of the Freacher's hair, and then going back around to twist it or, create the lock. Now you also see that I've gotten a little bit better here at separating that hair. And I've separated 3 times for each strand. And by this time I'm using 2 strands each. I'm using 2 strands each for each lock to give me that thickness. That one lock right there, I don't know if I'm going to be able to put an arrow, seemed a lot of stiffness. So that right there was my lesson as to why you really have to loosen up. If you can see that one lock underneath the braid, it's kind of sticking out a little bit. That's the reason why it's important for it to be loose. Excuse the background noise. My son just came in. It's really late in here too. All right, clasping it onto there, pulling it through, pushing it in, holding on to the one side, and just sliding it out. I don't know, maybe that wasn't the best view of what I'm trying to get here, but it looks like it probably hurt, but I don't know. This is my niece. I can't say that I would actually do this with an actual client, that pull method, but who knows? Depends on if they're tender-headed or not. All right, here I am there's my 2 strands there I was telling you about, stretching them, because even if it's a strand of hair, it will not, is what I've learned. It will not. So easy to knot. Yeah. Yeah, so, but that's what I was telling you also, is that I was taking a couple of braids and trying to go ahead and, for time's sake, pre-separate the hair, go ahead and crochet that hair in, and then come back around and create the lock. Oh, I'm so tired. Sorry about that. It is very late. I was actually working in the living room instead of in my hair studio that I've created for myself. It's an in-home hair studio. Oh gosh, look at me. I must really be working hard. I even have my little tongue stuck out. That's how you know that's how you know I was really focused. Yeah. I am focused. Yeah. And if it does tangle, just pull it. Because how I realize these distress locks really, I don't think it really matters about, some people are like, oh, don't pull it too much. Don't pull too much of it out. What are you doing, Mary? There it goes. Uh-oh. I didn't get all of it. That's the only drawback with this method that I'm doing of pre-doing everything. Because you don't want one strand from the one braid to get caught in the other strand from the other braid. I'm trying to keep it as separate as possible. It actually was a pretty fun style for me to do. It was a learning lesson. A lot for me to learn. Even working with that crochet hair, it was a lot to... It was an experience working with the wider wave features here. I don't do a whole lot of crocheting, but I'm not completely against it either. But yeah, I guess once you get the hang of working with the hair, it's not so bad. I could use a little bit more practice with these butterfly locks, but by the time I get it down packed, we'll be moving on to the next trend. Yeah, so like I said, the boxes that are plaited in her hair, they're not exactly all the exact same size. Some, it's just, they're not all the exact same size. I was just trying to see. Sorry. In this instance, what pattern was going to work for this style. I actually tried to do the other day a sleek ponytail. That was interesting. I really should have took a video of that. Yep. And here I'm still adding more Freetra's hair to the next braid. Trying to get ahead of time here. And I'll go ahead and let you watch me work in a more sped up way. And then I'll show you the end result.